back to part 3. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, hello. Welcome back to part 3. Are we on part 3? Yeah, the sound went wonky donkey on part 2. Nothing weird. And then it's amazing, right? I haven't got any views on my video, and I've only got like 18 subscribers or whatever. And I've got one of them fact check labels on it. Oh, it's amazing. I love the way this stuff works. It's just, yeah, okay. Climate change is real. No one's saying it's not real. Okay, all right. Let's just carry on with this. Oh yeah, I got disrupted. Okay, carry on. I think we're about it.
Not just the current. And that's what absolutely makes sense. And then we start thinking about how do we mitigate these disasters.
Thank you. Senator, I want to give you an opportunity to respond there. The governor mentioned that President Trump has called climate change a hoax. Do you agree?
Well, look, what the president has said is that if the Democrats, in particular Kamala Harris and her leadership, if they really believe that climate change is serious, what they would be doing is more manufacturing and more energy production in the United States of America, and that's not what they're doing. So clearly, Kamala Harris herself doesn't believe her own rhetoric on this. If she did, she would actually agree with Donald Trump's energy policies. Now, something Governor Walz said I think is important to touch upon, because when we talk about clean energy, I think that's a slogan that often the Democrats will use here. And I'm talking, of course, about the Democratic leadership. And the real issue is that if you're spending hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars of American taxpayer money on solar panels that are made in China, number one, you're going to make the economy dirtier. We should be making more of those solar panels here in the United States.
Yeah, right, because I don't think China signed up to the Paris Accords. I don't think India did either. I don't know. I get what he's saying, though. He's saying, like, make that stuff in a... But I don't know, because like a lot of, I don't know, solar panels and batteries for electric vehicles and stuff, they need precious metals. Have you got them? Have you got them? If you've got them, why aren't you? And then how do you? It's that whole. And then at the end of the day, if it's all happening in China, and then you got like whatever they're doing over there to mine that stuff, and then ship it over, produce it, manufacture it, and ship it over. And I don't believe they are signed up to the Paris Accords. I could be wrong. I often am. He's right. I mean, you think it's clean energy because, I'll buy an electric car and I'm being good for the environment. You've got to look at the whole supply chain. You've got to look at everything from... I don't know that you are. And then at the end of the day, all you're doing is plugging it into national grid, plugging it into how's that? Where's that power coming from? Because you got to plug it in somewhere, and then what's that fueled by? Got to look at the whole lot. All right, stop kidding yourselves.
America. Some of them are, Tim, but a lot of them are being made overseas in China, especially the components that go into those solar panels. So if you really want to make the environment cleaner, you've got to invest in more energy production. We haven't built a nuclear facility, I think, one in the past 40 years. Senator. Natural gas, we got to invest more in it. Kamala Harris has done the opposite. That's raised energy prices and also meant that we're doing
Senator,
worse by the climate.
Senator, your time is up. Governor, would you like to respond?
Well, look, we're producing more natural gas than we ever have. There's no moratorium on that. We're producing more oil. But the folks know, and like I said again, these are...
Oh, I want to fact check that right now. I want to fact check that right now. Forgive me. Let's go do this. Because I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it's true. Right, how do we... We probably want something like, well, maybe we want to step outside OPEC. I mean, I'd look at OPEC numbers, but energy production in the... Oh, okay. Right, I see what was it with. Okay. Alright, okay. Ooh. Okay. Look, I'm happy to educate myself. I'm happy to be wrong. I don't need to be right. Okay? I just want to be informed. Okay, that one looks pretty all-encompassing. Let's try this. Diverse, yes, well done. Although, yeah, we need to move away from fossil fuels. I agree with that. Are they the most recent figures you've got available, 2021? Because I'll be honest, right, we need something more. Ooh, fission. I'm very interested in those fission fuels. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. What? Okay, Tesla. I'm interested in Nikola Tesla, and his stuff. Maybe he had fusion then, and this is no, I don't think so. Okay. Right, what are we looking at then? Can anyone? I don't think these statistics are recent enough. I don't know what. I'm not reading. You know me. I'm not reading. Excuse me, what? Energy production rose 4% to hit a record of nearly. Oh. Okay, energy production. But that's within the grid. Oh, okay. Right, then maybe I'll give them this. But how are they? Oh, so sorry. Apologise for that. How? US energy production overshadowed consumption by 9 quadrillion. British. Shout out. Yeah. Thermal units. According to an analysis released. Oh, okay. In 2023, the 2023 rise in US energy production was from increases. Oh, natural gas. Okay, yeah, crude. Oh, okay. Multiple indicators suggest that the US oil and gas industry has. Okay. I'm having some problems here, clearly. Look, all of that sounds positive. Okay, and it would support what Walz said, despite my own tiny understanding. Oops. I'm totally struggling right now. Like, it basically. Why is it so expensive to fill your car up with petrol right now? Petrol, diesel, whatever you use. I don't like. I get it. Okay, they're producing more from the grid or whatever. Look at me just trying to disprove. Oh, whatever. We'll just take him at his word and stuff. I can't be bothered reading all of this. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's so boring. Have you got anything? World oil. Wow. Okay. What? Right. Okay. Are you not in OPEC? I really thought you were. Some. No. I'm not understanding that. How? Mm. Mm. Sorry, I'm not going to pretend. That's boring. I didn't listen to most of it. Probably understood. No, I don't know. Well, yeah, I think the US and the UK should have been in there. I'm not sure why we weren't, but yeah, like if they're going to talk about, oh, I'll give that to them. Like they're producing more energy. Okay, that's great if you can get it from renewable sources. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what the hell. Okay. I don't. Mm, I didn't fact check anything there. I don't even know what the hell we just watched. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep coughing into the.
No, like I say again, these are not liberal folks. These are not folks that are Green New Deal folks. These are farmers that have been drought one year, massive flooding the next year. They understand that it makes sense. Look, our number one export cannot be topsoil from erosion from these massive storms. We saw it in Minnesota this summer. And thinking about how do we respond to that, we're thinking ahead on this. And what Kamala Harris has been able to do in Minnesota, we're starting to weatherproof some of these things. The infrastructure law that was passed allows us to think about mitigation in the future. How do we make sure that we're protecting by burying our power lines? How do we make sure that we're protecting lakefronts and things that we're seeing more and more of? But to call it a hoax and to take the oil company executives to Mar-a-Lago, say, give me money for my campaign, and I'll let you do whatever you want. We can be smarter about that, and an all-above energy policy is exactly what she's doing, creating those jobs right here.
Governor, your time is up. The overwhelming consensus among scientists is that the Earth's climate is warming at an unprecedented rate. Margaret?
Thank you, Nora. We're going to turn now to immigration, the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Oh, yay. We go from one hot topic to another hot topic. I mean, yeah, that's unbelievable. I uploaded that other video, right? The sound went funny. And then also I've got one of them fact check banners from about, do I say the words? I'm not disagreeing with climate change. Climate change is real. We should all be responsible for our environment. Just carry on.
Consistently ranks as one of the top issues for American voters. Senator Vance, your campaign is pledging to carry out the largest mass deportation plan in American history and to use the U.S. military to do so. Could you be more specific about exactly how this will work? For example, would you deport parents who have entered the U.S. illegally and separate them?
Oh, yeah, I have already. Okay, that in itself is such a dumbass question. The obvious answer is, do you know where you start? You start with the people that entered the country that you know have a criminal record or have committed crimes since they've been in the country. I think that's the obvious answer. That's an obvious place to start.
from any of their who were born on U.S. soil? You have 2 minutes.
So first of all, Margaret, before we talk about deportations, we have to stop the bleeding. We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's border policies. 94 executive orders suspending deportations, decriminalizing illegal aliens, massively increasing the asylum fraud that exists in our system. That is open the floodgates. And what it's meant is a lot of fentanyl is coming into our country. I had a mother who struggled with opioid addiction and has gotten clean. I don't want people who are struggling with addiction to be deprived of their second chance because Kamala Harris let in fentanyl into our communities at record levels. So you've got to stop the bleeding. You've got to reimplement Donald Trump's border policies, build the wall, reimplement deportations. And that gets me to your point, Margaret, about what do we actually do? So we've got 25 million illegal aliens who are here in the country. What do we do? I think the first thing that we do is we start with the criminal migrants. About 1 million.
Yeah, that's an insane number. 25 million. That in itself is an insane number. And yeah, 100%. Start with the people that you know have a criminal record. Start with the people who potentially have committed crimes since they've been in the country. Just not talking about ripping families apart. I know it makes a good sound bite and everything. Can't break a family up. That's okay. Go live your life. But yeah, that's okay.
People have committed some form of crime in addition to crossing
Yeah, in addition to. Okay. In addition,
the border illegally. I think you start with deportations on those folks. And then I think you make it harder for illegal aliens to undercut the wages of American workers. A lot of people will go home if they can't work for less than minimum wage in our own country. And by the way,
it's obvious. Why you gotta start with some? Oh, you're gonna separate a family from a natural. What?
that really good workers who just earn a fair wage for doing a day's work. The final point, Margaret, is you ask about family separation. Right now in this country, Margaret, we have 320,000 children that the Department of Homeland Security has effectively lost. Some of them have been sex trafficked. Some of them hopefully are at homes with their families. Some of them have been used as drug trafficking mules. The real family separation policy in this country is, fortunately, Kamala Harris's wide open southern border. And I'd ask my fellow Americans to remember, when she came into office, she said she was going to do this. Real leadership would be saying, you know what, I screwed up. We're going to go back to Donald Trump's border policies. I wish that she would do that. It would be good for all of us.
Governor, do you care?
Oh, this is going to be. Oh, Jesus. She was the border czar. She was put in charge of the border. I mean, remember that time that she was asked, have you visited the border? No, I haven't visited Europe either. I don't know what the. Yeah, no. Donald Trump had effective border policies in place, and yeah, most of them were by executive order. Okay, but he's the president to do that, yeah? But they worked. And we had a look at this the other day, a week or two. One of the things that Joe Biden did on his first day in office was to revoke all of that. Now, Donald Trump put in the Senate couldn't agree on a bill to protect the border. So Donald Trump did it by executive order because it needed to be done. Joe Biden reversed the executive orders, and now he's sitting there and saying, oh, can't do anything about the border because it needs to be a bill in. No, you've got the power. You've got the power with the executive orders. You could do that. They've done nothing.
To respond to any of those specific allegations, including that the vice president is, quote, letting in fentanyl and using kids regarding children.
The drug mule is not true, but I will say about this, about the fentanyl, because this is a crisis of this, the opioid crisis. And the good news on this is the last 12 months saw the largest decrease in opioid deaths in our nation's history, 30% decrease in Ohio. But there's still more work to do. But let's go back to this on immigration. Kamala Harris was the Attorney General of the largest state, a border state in California. She's the only person in this race who prosecuted transnational gangs.
That's like the only part of her district attorney, state's attorney general. Okay, yeah. Vance is the current representative. He's a representative for Ohio. So, okay, I get what you're doing there. You specifically mentioned Ohio to point a finger at. But that's why he's talking about it, right? Because it's... Okay.
For human trafficking, drug interventions. But look, we all want to solve this. Most of us want to solve this. And that is the United States Congress. That's the Border Patrol agents. That's the Chamber of Commerce. That's most Americans out here. That's why we had the fairest and the toughest bill on immigration that this nation's seen. It was crafted by a conservative senator from Oklahoma, James Lankford. I know him. He's super conservative, but he's a man of principle, wants to get it done. Democrats and Republicans worked on this piece of legislation. The Border Patrol said, this is what we need in here. These are the experts. And the Chamber of Commerce and the Wall Street Journal said, pass this thing. Kamala Harris helped get there. 1,500 new border agents. Detection.
All right, we're totally going to have to come back and pick this up. I know this is taking an extraordinary long time.